Good morning, students. So let's continue with the chapter from where we had left yesterday. That Dr. Sadao and Hannah both were in confusion what to do with that man. So the biggest problem with them was that there were servants in the house. If they took that man to the house, of course the servants, they were going to inform the police, and it would endanger all of them, not only the Dr. Sadao or his wife, but also their children, because they would be considered as traitors for giving shelter to the prisoner of war. Certainly, Sadao agreed. I would not think of doing anything else. Thus agreed. Together they lifted the man. So now they made the decision. They took that man and took him to their house. And he was looking like a fowl. Fowl is a bird. Okay, that had been half starved for a long time until it was only feathers and skeleton. That is that prisoner. So both of them, they took that man to their house. So now there is another thing that is very ironical. They took that man to the house and they put him into the room which was the bedroom of Dr. Sadao's father. And after his death it had not been used, because so that was the only unused room in their house. Now what is the irony over here? If Sadao's father would have been alive, he would have never allowed him to harbor an American soldier or even an American man. But now, as he was no more alive, so that American soldier was taken to his room only. They put that man on the floor, and it was properly, the room, if you see, it was properly decorated in the Japanese manner. Now, Hannah said that he is so dirty, and yes, he had better be washed. If you will fetch hot water, I'll wash him. So now Hannah said that I cannot bear to touch him, because he had not done that, and he was not used to giving a wash to the patients. We shall have to tell the servants he is here. I will tell Yumi now. She can leave the children for a few minutes and she can wash him. So now the trouble was that first of all that man's wounds had to be washed. So she said that she would call Yumi, who was the caretaker of her children, so that she would come and wash that man. So now they decided that they will inform servants and they will try to convince them that that man was brought home only to attend to his wounds, and afterwards he will be given to the police. But the utter pallor means pale face, the pale look of the man's unconscious face moved him first to stoop and feel his pulse. Stoop means to bend. He found that man's face had become totally pale. So he wanted to see his pulse, whether he was alive or not. So a little pulse was going on, and the heart was also working. So he said that he will die unless he is operated on. The question is whether he will not die anyway. So now the same thing came to his mind, that even if they will treat that man, they will operate that man, even then he was going to die. Don't try to save him. What if he should live? What if he should die? He stood gazing. Now on the motionless man, this man must have extraordinary vitality. Vitality means energy, or he would have been dead by now. So, you mean die from the operation? Hannah asked. Yes, Sadao said. So, डॉक्टर सदाओ बोले कि इसमें काफ़ी स्ट्रेंथ है, इसीलिए अभी तक बचा हुआ है इतनी ब्लीडिंग होने के बाद भी, और हो सकता है लेकिन अब ये मर जाए. क्यों? क्योंकि ऑपरेशन के बाद में भी द ऑपरेशन में नॉट बी सक्सेसफुल, because of the over bleeding that man may die. So Sadao turned away. At any rate, something must be done with him, and first he must be washed. So first thing that had been had to be done was that that man had to be washed before he could be operated. And now here he was her enemy, a menace, living or dead. Menace means he was a big trouble for them, whether he was alive or whether he was dead. So when she went to the nursery and called for Yumi, but Yumi was busy with the children. Even then she called her and told Yumi that I'll see the children, just to come out. And when she went to the Yumi, before that, Sadao had told other servants also, and most of them, they were very angry. The old gardener who was from the time of Dr. Sadao's father, who was also house servant, pulled a few hairs on his upper lip. मीन्स उसको बहुत ज़्यादा गुस्सा आ गया. और फिर उसने क्या बोला, द मास्टर ऑट नॉट टू हील द वुंड ऑफ दिस वाइट मैन, कि हमें कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है उसको ऑपरेट करने की. द वाइट मैन ऑट टू डाई, फर्स्ट ही वॉज शॉट, देन द सी कॉट हिम एंड वुंडेड हिम विद हर रॉक्स. If the master heals what the gun did and what the sea did, they will take revenge on us. तो क्लियरली वो ये कहना चाहते थे कि हम नहीं चाहते कि इसको ऑपरेट किया जाए, इसको ठीक किया जाए. तो क्या कहते हैं कि पहले तो इसको गोली लगी, तब भी नहीं मरा, तो समुद्र में गिर गया ये, उसके बाद इसको मर जाना चाहिए था. लेकिन अगर अब हम इसको ठीक, अगर हमारा मास्टर डॉक्टर सदाओ इसको ठीक करते हैं, तो both the gun and the sea will take revenge. That is, both the army as well as the nation will take revenge on him. But Hannah said that of course I will convey your message to the doctor. Now she was also very uncomfortable. She was also thinking the same thing again and again, whether they should treat that person or not. And she told Yumi to fetch the hot water and bring it to the room where the white man was being kept. She went ahead and slid back the partitions. Sadao was not there. Yumi, following her, put down her wooden bucket. Then she went over to the white man. And as she looked at the white man, she had the same stubborn look. And she said, I have never washed a white man, and I will not wash so dirty a one now. So the same thing was there. That is, they were so against the Americans that none of them agreed to help Dr. Sadao. Even Yumi said that I am not going to wash that man. Then Hannah shouted at her that you are not listening to your master's commands. Even then, Yumi didn't agree. So after that, Yumi left from there, and Hannah was left without any words. And she couldn't say anything now. So what happened was that she told Dr. Sadao that now everything would have to be done by her only, because servants had already told that we are not going to do this. So the cleaning was to be done by Hannah only. So she went to that man and she tried to wipe over his wounds, and while doing that, she called Sadao. He had been about to come in when she called. His hand had been on the door, and now he opened it. She saw that he had bought his surgeon's emergency bag, and that he wore his surgeon's coat. So you have decided to operate. So now finally Hannah came to know that he had decided to operate that man. So now Dr. Sadao said, of course I am going to operate. And Hannah was also obediently following whatever Dr. Sadao was saying. Okay. Then she brought all the things which were required, the matting, the bandage and other things. And because of the blood, all around the mat that had been spread had become red. So now he also told Sadao that Yumi had denied to wash that man, that's why she herself had to wash him. Then he asked for the anesthetic, and he said that you have to give anesthetic. हाना को बोला कि तुम्हें इसको anesthetic देना पड़ेगा. उसने बोला मैंने कभी भी नहीं किया ऐसा. उसने बताया कि कैसे करना है, and she started giving the anesthetic to that man. The doctor had already started operating, and he was so involved in his work that all of a sudden he said that there was a bullet inside his body. and he had to see how deep the wound was, and he had also lost so much of blood. And at this moment Hannah choked. He looked up and saw her face the color of sulfur. Now Hannah had never seen so much of blood. इतना blood उसने कभी भी नहीं देखा था, और वो सब देख करके एकदम से वो घबरा गई और उसका चेहरा बिल्कुल पीला पड़ गया. और डॉक्टर सदाव ने उसकी तरफ देखा, फिर भी उसने कुछ नहीं करा. Only he said, "Don't faint. That don't get unconscious over here. If I stop now, the man will surely die." She clapped her hands to her mouth and leaped up and ran out of the room. Outside in the garden, he heard her retching. Retching means vomiting. Because she had become upset at the sight of the blood, that's why she went out and started vomiting. And Dr. Sadao also didn't pay any attention towards her because he was so involved in his work that he didn't pay attention to anything else. This man, he thought, there is no reason under heaven why he should live. तो वो ऑपरेशन करते करते क्या होता था, डॉक्टर सदाव इतना ज़्यादा इन्वॉल्व हो जाते थे अपने वर्क से कि वो अपने आप से ही बातें करने लग जाते थे. फिर वही बात उनके दिमाग में आ रही थी कि इसको क्या जरूरत है, मैं क्यों इसको ठीक कर रहा हूँ, इसको व्हाट विल दैट मैन डू इवन इफ ही इज अलाइव, ही विल बी कॉट बाय द पुलिस अगेन, ही विल हैव टू डाई. And as he was operating, little consciousness was coming in that man. तो वह होश आ रहा था, तो वो चिल्ला रहा था. तो सदाव क्या बोला कि चिल्लाओ जितना चिल्लाना है, मैं कोई मेरी खुशी से नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बल्कि मुझे भी पता नहीं है कि मैं ये क्यों कर रहा हूँ. And again Hannah had come inside and she asked for the anesthetic, and she again started assisting Dr. Sadav. And what all the things were required, she gave to Dr. Sadav. And when she looked at the wounds of that man, so many wounds were there on his face as well as on his body. Then she remembered the stories which she was hearing, the stories which were said about the Japanese army, that wherever the Japanese armies went, they were received very gladly. But sometimes she had heard about General Takima, that who at home beat his wife very cruelly, though no one mentioned it now that he had fought so victorious a battle in Manchuria. If a man like that could be so cruel to a woman in his power, would he not be cruel to one like this, for instance? तो ये सब देख करके उसको यह ध्यान आया कि जनरल टेकिमा के बारे में क्या कहा जाता था, कि वो अपनी वाइफ को कितना टॉर्चर करता था, फिर भी कंट्री में कोई भी उसके बारे में कुछ नहीं बोलता था क्योंकि वो बहुत पावरफुल था. तो फिर उसने, जब हना ने उस आदमी को देखा, उस सोल्जर को देखा, तो उसको लगा कि जो आदमी अपनी वाइफ के साथ इतना क्रूअल हो सकता है, ऑफ कोर्स दे हैड बीन वेरी क्रूअल टू दिस मैन also. So rest we shall continue tomorrow.